trust is a luxury I couldn't afford. I had to know for sure. So I created a fake persona, a fake business, and a once-in-a-lifetime offer just to see if my partner would sell me out for a bigger paycheck. They didn't just take the bait. They tried to delete me from the history of my own company. Now, I own the bait, the hook, and their future. This is the story of how I set the ultimate loyalty test. It all started with a nagging feeling. A gut instinct that something was off. My business partner and I had built our company from the ground up, or so I thought, but little inconsistencies, late-night calls, and secretive meetings made me question everything. Was I just being paranoid? Or was my partner plotting to push me out? I decided I couldn't live with the uncertainty. I had to create a situation where their true intentions would be revealed. My plan needed to be flawless. I began by creating what I call the digital ghost. This wasn't just a fake email address. I built an entire online identity for a fictional, ultra-successful entrepreneur named Alex Sterling. Alex had a slick LinkedIn profile, a professional-looking website for a shell company, and even some curated press releases I planted on obscure business blogs. Alex Sterling was everything my partner secretly admired: ruthless, incredibly wealthy, and looking to acquire a promising company just like ours. I spent weeks making Alex not just believable, but irresistible. Next, I had to figure out their price. What was the greed threshold? How much money would it take for them to betray years of our shared work and friendship? I started small with Alex's assistant making initial contact. The offer was good, but not life-changing. My partner was cautious. So Alex Sterling himself stepped in. He upped the offer significantly, painting a picture of a future where my partner was the sole visionary, the celebrated CEO. He added stock options, a corner office in a prime location, and a seat on the board of his global enterprise. I had to find the number that would make them forget my name. It turned out to be less than I expected, which was the most painful part of this whole ordeal. With the bait set, it was time for the sting operation. Alex Sterling arranged a series of video conferences. Of course, Alex's camera was conveniently broken, but the audio was crystal clear. And every single second of those calls was being recorded. I listened in real time as my partner, the person I built my dream with, enthusiastically explained how they were the true brains behind our success. They downplayed my contributions, calling me dead weight that could easily be cut loose after the acquisition. The most chilling part was when they actively schemed with Alex on how to legally erase my involvement and my equity from the company records. They weren't just taking the bait. They were trying to swallow the entire fishing rod. Some might say this was entrapment. But here's the psychological genius of it. I never forced their hand. I simply gave them a choice. I presented a fork in the road, and they chose the path of betrayal all on their own. By giving them a choice, I removed any plausible deniability. They couldn't claim they were pressured or misunderstood. Their own words, their own greed had sealed their fate. This wasn't a trap they fell into. It was a door they willingly walked through, believing it led to a brighter future. Now for the fallout. The fake offer became a very real legal nightmare for them. The recordings of them conspiring to commit corporate fraud, devalue my shares, and squeeze me out of my own company weren't just heartbreaking. They were irrefutable evidence. I didn't need to fight them in a messy public battle. I simply presented the recordings to our lawyers. Faced with undeniable proof of their conspiracy, my partner had no choice but to sign over their entire stake in the company to me for a fraction of its value, just to avoid criminal charges. The fake company I created to test their loyalty ended up giving me full ownership of our real company. They thought they were selling me out for a golden opportunity, but in the end, the only thing they sold was their entire future. I learned a hard lesson about trust, but I also learned that sometimes the only way to protect what you've built is to be willing to burn it all down to expose the truth. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more stories you won't believe.